All right. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Shem, Rakar Kodash.
Honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone, be well. Peace and salutation to the elect before the street. This is Gms Atlanta Church here in Georgia. Coming back at you to chant the downfall of Babylon, expose who the devil is, according to the scriptures, which is so-called white man. His biblical name is the Edomites, Edom, Esau, okay, Idumea, all right. Also, we come out here week in and week out to prophesy the name of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Okay? All right, so we're going to jump right into it because we're in a new location. We're right across the building from the Federal Reserve building. Okay? All right, there's only 7 of them in the world. 11 in the world.
And I pulled a chart up to get where they all located.
Football for sure. Okay, originated at all the banking. The Bank of England was like the first big, prominent financial institution that the elite set up. That's what started the whole thing, the whole shebang. So we're gonna go ahead and get there because we're gonna talk about his policies. And with his policies is a lot of paperwork, money, So go ahead, man.
It's Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
That's right. He shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Okay? Through his policy. So can you look at the policy?
I got it.
Okay, yeah.
Because since we were going into the Federal Reserve, when you pan around behind us, we right in front of the Federal Reserve Center. You can pan it on camera. But this is one of these major strongholds, man. This is really one of the major cities that Esau basically functions out of. And I had that what the brother was asking about. It's actually 12 Federal Reserve districts. It says, for the purpose of carrying out these day-to-day operations of the Federal Reserve System, the nation has been divided into 12 Federal Reserve districts with banks in Boston, New York, Philly, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Richmond, Atlanta, Chicago, St. Louis, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Dallas, and San Francisco. So those are the 12 banks, and we're right here. The Spirit always has it where the prophets and the men of the Lord will prophesy where major strongholds lie, man. Just like it tells you in Matthew, where the prophets would go out to the highways and byways, because the highways and byways were major places of exchange. You would have the money changers, you would have all kind of production and commerce that would occur in that area. And basically the prophets, the men of the Lord, were a nightmare, man. They were the ones to issue out the bad dream and the bad omens amongst the people that was immersed, But you got that what the guy had come from?
Yeah, I got the definition. This is a policy in the Hebrew word sakal, and it says prudence, insight, understanding. It says prudence, good sense.
That's right. It says prudence and good sense. Okay, so through his policy, his prudence and good sense, he can in turn be crafty. Yeah. So go ahead and reread down to Daniel 8:25.
It's Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy,
so policy through his prudence or his wisdom of what he knows, his understanding of what he knows. So his money, his fine print, read the fine print. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
It says, through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
He shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Can you get what's that? First Maccabee chapter 1, verse 12. Start at 12. Go ahead and read that out.
It says, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
What's that? Yeah, Obadiah chapter 1. Yep, I think that's verse 3 or 4. Verse 3, okay. So hold that Daniel 25, go ahead and start at verse 12. Or verse 7, I'm sorry.
Okay. First Maccabee 1 and 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
So Alexander the Great passed. All right, so go ahead.
and his servants bear rule, every one in his place.
Those are his 4 generals. Go ahead.
And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years.
That's right. They put crowns upon themselves, and so did their sons after many years. So that goes, if they put a crown upon themselves and deem themselves a king, that shows the haughtiness and the pride of the Edomites. So go ahead. Just to deem it, I'm the king. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
There you go. Evils were multiplied in the earth. So go ahead and reread Daniel 8 and 25.
It's Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Does it all connect?
Go ahead.
It says, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
There you go. What did they do? They magnify themselves in the heart by putting the crown on their head. And this is talking about the so-called white man, the Edomites. They put the crown on top of their head, and evils multiplied because of his prudence and his policy and his craft. So the evils kept increasing and increasing.
Right, and when you go into the establishment of the United States, it's all built up by false policies and false legislation. That's why the scripture says, woe unto them that prescribe evil writing, so to speak. We get that in with that Jeremiah or Isaiah the 10th chapter. Isaiah the 10th chapter. Because what you had different paper bulls, you had all kind of policies of Spain, different policies of France, different legislations, the doctrine of discovery and things of that nature, where these different Edomites had passed a leeway to come and invade America. And that's how the so-called white man moved, through crafty council, all right, with the Federal Reserve structure. All right, you have Jekyll Island, all right, where you had the conglomerate of Edomites that got together to establish the Federal Reserve notes, man. And that's really how Esau even established this whole world on the whole. Because Esau does what? He gets with these other top devils, these Satanists. They sacrifice to Molech, Baal, and really Satan on the whole, whether whatever type of deity that he names it, and then they'll actually pray to that power, and then they'll actually get together and they'll actually formulate policies to actually oppress the people in the name of love, in the name of taxation, in the name of giving them rights and privileges. Is actually to strip the essence and the life out of these people, man. The morality, and all these different things of that nature. That's why it's crafty counsel.
That's right.
All right, and policy. Like the brother said, policy goes into prudence. Prudence goes into really being a snake. But you can go ahead, bro.
It's beautifully broken down,
and that shows you.
Get that Daniel Isaiah 10.
I just want to say one thing. That shows you that we're dealing with this. Going back to the garden, that old known as red dragon. That's the so-called white man,
Get that Isaiah for that.
It's Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they have prescribed.
Well, that's the policy. Like the brother was going into. All these different the navigation acts, okay, which is prescription, which means to write right before. That was written so Christopher Columbus could come over here and do what he did. All this is written. Everything was planned out and put on paper before Esau actually initiated. That's why you see him, he writes these legislations, he'll do a false flag, we gotta write a legislation for it. Next thing you know, they're taking the guns away because they wrote it. They prescribed it.
It's already been prescribed.
It's already been prescribed.
Laid in the books till the time appointed.
Exactly. Before you get a car, what do you gotta do? You gotta sign the papers. You know what I'm saying? Before and this actually even in the scriptures, before you divorce a woman, you're supposed to give her a bill of divorcement. Okay? In Esau's world, in Esau's kingdom, you gotta write a bill or you gotta sign them papers.
That's right.
To get the divorcement, and then it happens. Yeah. But it's policy. Go ahead.
No, that's a beautiful point that you made, because a lot of times with these policies, first they got to get written out. You have to have certain people sign off on it, so to speak. the specific individuals for it to actually be official policy manifest. And sometimes, like you said, they'll be in the books till a time appointed. So when a situation arises, it'll be enacted. That's how we know that America is going to be shut down. That's how we know martial law is coming to America, because all these different things are already prescribed in the writings.
That's how you know America is a corporation and not an actual country.
That's right.
Because it was matter of fact, a good one. When the so-called pilgrims came over, what did they first do? They made them, was that not the Magna Carta? Was it the Magna Carta? The Plymouth, on the Plymouth Rock, you know what I'm saying? Look it up with Barker Sharp. But they established a contract, a paper, the Declaration of Independence, the 1776, you know, the foundation of America or whatever. It was established on a documentation through his policy, through his craft.
Emancipation Proclamation, so-called proclaimed liberty.
All these, you know, which got us a 40 acres in a mule, barely, which got stripped away from us, you know.
Damn devils, they changing this Constitution as we speak. Sure, it is, they put in there the right to bear arms and freedom of religion and all that. And now all of a sudden, we're talking about gun control. They trying to get men off the corners. Hell, they trying to get rid of the scriptures in California. This devil, he breaks his own fucking laws, man.
And you know what's crazy too? Forget the Constitution. They got something called executive orders. Those get carried out more than the Constitution. And if y'all brothers, you know, if you ever get the chance to look up, the brothers watching, look up the executive order. I think it's 13603. It's something that President Obama signed. Pretty much is saying, there's two major things that it states in there. That if you have a certain craft that you're good, or you know, something you're good at, the government can make you do it without labor. I mean, without pay. So that's what free labor, which is what slavery, which you're already in mentally, but they're gonna put you right back into it. And that's talking about everybody, even you peon Edomites or you peon so-called white people. And also in the same documentation, it talks about UN troops can go into a city and deem it terroristic and take it completely illegal. But go ahead and do it. There's already cops up in DC that already don't need a warrant to go through your shit.
Well, I'm just gonna say, you know, because the times that we're living in, the closer we get, okay, the closer this devil gets to war and all-out conflict. All right, he has to make the rules stricter. Okay, he has to make the comfort. He has to take away the comfort and necessities out of America, so that he can go ahead and pass these legislations and get people, you know, working for him and ready for war. Okay. You know, Psalm 55:22. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Read one. Okay.
Yeah, I started 20.
Yeah, 20.
He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
Right.
Okay.
I was gonna say that you go back to in history and you go back to when these devils came over to America, right? Dealing with the Native Americans. What did they do? They set up all kinds of treaties and you know, peace treaties and all that. And what they do? They broke every single one of them. Yeah. And they came out there, we're gonna, you know, and the Native Americans, they helped these damn devils, man. Yeah. They taught them how to work the land, how to take care of themselves when they sick. You know, they taught them how to survive out here. Because the damn cave fuckers don't know how to do anything but live in the goddamn cave, man. Still. And what did they do? They broke every policy and slaughtered a whole nation of people, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Get Sirach chapter 12 verse 16. You can go ahead and go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you know, like the brother said, the Native Americans, when they came, when the Edomites, they came over here, you know, they were at peace with them, you know. But it said, I'm gonna read it one more time. Psalm 55:20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant.
Broke down.
Okay. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
That's right. Get that Sirach 12:16.
Sirach chapter 12 verse 16. Enemy speaking sweetly.
Sirach 12 verse 16. start that. Start never trust thy enemy first. Is that in there?
Yeah, it's verse 10.
Yeah, get verse 10 and let's skip down to 16.
This is Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy.
And that's what the Native Americans did. That's why we read that. The brother pulled it out and he was saying, read a verse above. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
It says, never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Now jump down to 16.
Verse 16. The enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
Hey, he speaks sweet, man. That's the same thing that, what's that song, 55? It's the same thing, Psalm 55. His words are smoother than butter, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get another quick one, super quick, if I may.
Con.
This is 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 30. It says, I start at 29, and after 2 years fully expired, the king sent this chief collector to tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceful words unto them, for all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, because the scriptures say, one who gives credit and haste is like-minded, okay? So it says, but they gave him credence. Right? He fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. It's the same thing that we're bringing out in Psalm 55 and Sirach 12 and 16. So go ahead and finish that and we'll finish yours.
He will keep, it says, he will keep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
That's right. If you find opportunity, you won't be satisfied with blood. There's a word called, I think it's pronounced sanguineous or spanguineous, which means bloodthirsty, man. Yeah. And that's the perfect way to describe Esau, which is a so-called white man.
Yeah, because he don't want to just take your life. He wants to take your land, take all the resources, kill off your cattle, or confiscate your goods.
Well, that's what it says when it says in Habakkuk 2. Because it's just showing that he's greedy. So like for
No, that's it. That's all I want to say. He cannot be satisfied.
He cannot be satisfied. That's why it says in that scripture, read that last part of it, Sirach 12 and 16.
It says, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
He won't be satisfied. He has to increase on what's not his. Nahum 3, is that right? 3 and 1. Yep. That's which is not his. You know, finish your precept.
Psalm 55 and 20. He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him, and broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords.
War is in his heart. You can't sit here and tell me that what race of people dropped 2 bombs on a country that already surrendered. Like 2 to 5 days before, they surrendered. They're like, we don't want no more. Yeah. And they still went in and topped it off because they weren't satisfied. You know what I'm saying? You have a question?
No, I just wanted to speak real quick. Yeah, these brothers, man, they all a part of the tribe.
Hey.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, you got
a question.
Oh, no, I was just...
If you have stuff issues, don't worry about it. Matter of fact, let's get Ecclesiastes 5.
Yeah.
We're going to get that, and we're going to get back on
it's not an open forum.
We're going to get that, and we're going to get back on topic.
We basically bringing out our precepts, so I mean, you know, if you had a question,
we
ask a question. Go ahead, bro.
Let this Ecclesiastes 5 and 1. About the shot. But we're going to let it. It's how about some more shots.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear than to give sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
Read it one more time.
Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
How did this work?
I still had that in Habakkuk, but you want to go Esau.
Esau, bring it out. We're going to get back on topic. Edify the elect.
This is but you said Esau blood hungry, man. Esau about to come down and have a big bath.
That's right.
And you know it was just a Texas shooting.
In Houston.
That's right. And that was all designed by Esau, man. Because Esau is getting ready to bring in this so-called New World Order, man. And it's gonna happen, man. You know what I'm saying? This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
That's right. Break it down.
You know, and man, you got our people out here, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You so-called confusion of faces, man. Y'all in churches, kingdom halls, y'all want to be Muslims, y'all want to be Buddhists, y'all want to be everything than what you're supposed to be, man. Which are the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, man. The chosen people of the Lord, man. So the Lord is raising up Esau to bring that whooping stick upon you, man. That's right. You're do it by the way of martial law, concentration camps, famine. You're gonna starve you jakes out, man. That's right. No, you're gonna wish that you came back to this truth and walking on to the words of Yahweh Shemel. Right. Right? Verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none. And that's Esau.
That's right. Who else? Who Esau gonna send it? Because he ain't gonna send it the regular Army or Navy or the U.S. Navy, U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force. No, he gonna send in them UN troops. That's right. The UN troops part of other nations. Moabites, the Ammonites, the Elamites, man. The Ishmaelites. Some motherfuckers hate y'all, man. They hate Americans. You know, man, shoot, even these UK, these are different. The Edomites, man. Yeah. They hate Americans, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I was actually talking to a brother last night, and was just basically bringing out how the United States Army, they don't have enough foot soldiers to even shut this thing down in just one swoop, man. They have to take it city by city, and they have to get these UN troops and you know, third-party troops, private military. To basically come because they don't have enough people to shut every city down just at once.
Because you want to know something else too? The people in the Army and the Navy, the combined forces, whatever the hell you want to call them, they don't want to do it anyway. I'm fighting for these people's freedom. They got sympathy for the people in the country. This is my country too. I'm not going to put my people in what, martial law? So what's the deep state gonna say? Okay, well, go UN. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna push their agenda in the one world order any way they can, man. The way they're gonna do it is pushing the UN troops into the cities until you sheep them, man. You know?
He's on his way. He just left.
Oh yeah, let him finish. We'll get his and then we'll get yours. Okay, go ahead.
2nd Ezra. Verse 16, verse 71, once again, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. That's right. Esau, man. You know, Esau gonna be like a madman, sparing none. The brother was speaking on earlier how bloodthirsty he is, man. And he really gonna show how bloodthirsty he is in that time, man. When all hell break loose. You see Esau doing these false flag attacks right now, shooting up kids now, man. He's shooting up kids. So he want to further push this agenda, man. You know? And that's what he's doing, man, because he got a short time, man. He got to act fast, man. Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which his true name according to the Bible, is Yahweh Shai, man. Yahweh Shai is on his way back, man. That's right. You know?
That's right.
And that's how we know without a shadow of a doubt through the spirit that Esau is going to unleash something in these cities, man. Because he needs something to actually catapult or act as a catalyst to shut down these different cities, man. And that's the best reason. Like you say, it's above, you know, innocence, so to speak, of the children and the babies and the old lady. Esau don't think like that. The so-called white man does not think like that. The older the better, so to speak, man.
Yeah, that's why you got Psalm 137 where it says what it says. Psalm 137 and 7. Race it. That's a prophecy to 70 AD. What happened in 70 AD? Edomites, no, that was the prophecy of Babylon. Babylon coming in, okay? But even 70 AD, ancient Babylon in 70 AD when it ransacked the siege of Jerusalem. You can look it up on the internet.
And they used to test their might to rip the babies in half.
You know, go into that, okay? They were saying racing. What were they saying? Go get them for? For these Edomites to bring us, these men like that look like me, you know, me and the other brothers, and now you got confusions of faces, but they're saying that to bring us down, man. Right. No matter if it was a child, no matter if it was an old lady, no matter if it was a woman, a young man, an old man, they didn't care. But take their cattle down too, because they, you know, they ain't satisfied like we went into.
When the Lord said, what was I forget exactly where it's at, but the Lord said to go and mark them. Ezekiel said, mark the handmaids, the women, the children. That was from the Lord. The Lord said to destroy them. Yeah. Well, how much for this devil to come down on him?
I got a precept to go with that.
And he worked for you, how about you outside these devils, man?
That's right. Well, you know, spiritual Satan works for you, how about Shemal Shai, and he uses the vessels of the so-called the white people, which is the biblically named the Edomites. Bring the precept out, brother.
Right. Isaiah 47:6. I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy.
Woo! Hey, reread that. Get Jeremiah 5 start on, man.
I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand.
One more time.
I was wroth with my people.
So how about Shemal Shai was correct? Was mad with you?
Yeah. Right. I have polluted mine inheritance.
That's right. This is going into the punishment that he's going to give us.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And given them into thine hand.
In whose hand? You goddamn Edomites, man. Right. Okay? That's whose hand. He, like the brother said, he used them as a whooping stick. Okay? So go ahead, brother.
Thou didst show them no mercy.
He didn't show us no mercy, man. That's why he took us, hung our women, and why pregnant women, and they cut their womb open and let the baby fall down.
Yeah,
castrated us, took the baby, fed it to alligators, sent dogs on us. And man, and that's the stuff that we know that's recorded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Buck breaking, man. That's bull, man. So go ahead.
Yeah, because the so-called white man is a natural psychopath, man. You had that one dude who had a couch. And he basically was going into the couch and they had all kind of hair follicles in it of slaves, man. So basically the so-called white man would basically shave the heads of so-called blacks and, you know, the so-called black women and black men, and he would take the accumulated hair and he would stuff it as cotton, man. The so-called white man is a nasty, filthy beast. Over there in Jamaica and Haiti, that was a whole nother style of buck breaking, man.
Well, you want to know, to add on to that, when we're talking about taking the skin and the hair off of, the southern tribe, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, well, guess what? He did it to you northern tribes too.
That's right.
He'll skin you and then wear your skin.
Wear you his pants.
Psychopath.
That's right.
What did they say?
Redskins.
Take the teeth.
George Washington. Yep.
You know?
Yeah, because that's another thing too. You got all these individuals that are always speaking about the founding fathers. The founding fathers were advocates of slavery, man.
That's right.
These George Washington, Abraham Lincoln too, man.
Taking slave teeth out their mouth, putting them in nails.
Yeah, that's what George Washington.
So you dentures.
I got a little bit more.
Can you read from the top? And I'm gonna.
That's
good.
I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou verily laid thy yoke.
That's right. Can you hold that? Get Jeremiah 15 and
This is Jeremiah.
Because what the scripture said was he was wrong with his people. So
this is Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 1. Then said Yahweh Shai unto Moses, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind...
Because what? He was going to wipe out all of Israel. And Moses like, oh, no. You know what I'm saying? Israel always had to go to Samuel to put up the sacrifices when the Philistines were coming out. And Samuel was like, y'all better turn back to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's what we sit here telling, you know, these Israelites out here, man. Because, and let me say this too, you know, on the behalf of the king, we out here to wake up the 11 to 44. We can give a damn about you niggas. Right. So go ahead.
Yet my mind could not be towards this people. Cast them out of my sight.
Cast them out of my sight, man. Because what? He was wroth with them. Go ahead, brother. With your piece.
All right. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy Upon the ancient hast thou verily laid thy yoke. And the ancient represent what? The older men. All right, the ancients is the older generations, the old heads, so to speak. And it said, upon the ancient thou hast verily laid thy yoke, because the yoke of iron was used to what? Oppress. All right, just like back in slavery, you would see what? You would see the old and the young with that big block of iron wrapped around their neck, man. Showing you historically, all right, and spiritually, when you go into the scriptures, that we are the people of the Most High, man. No other nation had to suffer the ridicule, had to suffer the fractured mentality, so to speak, the damage, the psychological damage as our people, man. All these other nations, when they came here, they got grants, they got all kind of privileges. All right, they got the best parts of the cities, they got the best parts of the land. But they do what? They do, and it's not a black thing, man. Because we in the ghettos, we in the hood, so to speak, the so-called blacks and Latinos, and the so-called natives are in the reses, man. Them reservations is damn near the same as ghettos and
projects.
It's the projects. Projects for natives.
Yeah, con.
Projects in Montana.
That's right.
This is Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord, Yahweh Shemel has spoken against you, O children of Israel,
Speaking to the Israelites, go ahead.
against the whole family which I bought out of the land of Egypt.
So what? They said against you?
Against the whole family.
Against. When we say something against, man, I'm against you, man. Meaning I'm opposite of you. I ain't with you, man. I'm against you. You're my opponent. So go ahead.
Which I bought up out of the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known.
Oh, hey, get Malachi chapter 1, verse 2. From John. Okay, we read that.
It says, you only have I known.
You only have I known. He's talking to the Israelites because he mentioned that in the first verse. I'm against you to hear the word, oh Israel, I'm against you. Okay? You only have I known. Get Malachi chapter 1, verse 2.
This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 2. I have loved you, saith Yahweh Shemel. Yet ye say, where hast thou loved us?
Where hast thou loved us? Reread that, Amos 3, 1, 2. Go ahead.
Amos chapter 3, verse 2. You only have I known.
See, there you go. You only have I known. So what are you talking about? Where have you loved us? The Lord just said it. I only know you. What are you talking about? I don't love you. Finish that precept off and I'll let you finish yours.
Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
You can hold it right there.
It says, of all families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
What's that? Hey, okay, so a dad has a younger, a middle, and an older child, right? Right? The older child fuck up. The middle child fuck up. The younger child fuck up.
That's right.
Who gonna get it the worst? That older child, right? It's kind of, it's like applying, but it's kind of like what he's saying right there.
Yeah.
You only have I known. You should know better. I done gave you the law, statutes, and commandments, orally and written. When Moses came on the scene, you know, you done practice it. You had King Solomon as a righteous king to show you what's up. You had all these prophets. You had King David, another righteous king. You know what I'm saying? You had all these examples, but you still want to fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
These other nations.
But they want to say, you ain't loved us. What are you talking about? I loved you by showing the law. The law is life. Yeah. That's what it says in Proverbs 3 and 1. It said, pretty much paraphrasing, if you keep the law, in turn you get a long life. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
Psalm 147 and 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Nobody else. So an Edomite can't come up here. If an Edomite or a so-called white person who's clearly spiritually we see as an Edomite comes up here, no, we gave the law to everybody. We pulling this out and we say you can walk down the street. So go ahead, brother.
Psalm 147 and 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Get Deuteronomy, someone get that classic Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Go ahead and finish your
God. He hath not dealt so with any nation.
With any other nation.
God.
You got. You bring his stuff out? Oh, okay. Finish.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
Now, with any other nations, they don't know the judgments They don't use it. They don't know the judge. They soon gonna know the judgment. You know what I'm saying? The mutual fire and the martial law, that judgment. Okay? But these other nations don't know the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, Heavenly Father.
And these other nations, they have to feel the whooping stick, man. We had to suffer the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Showing that we are the people that has a very strong connection, an intimate connection with the power above, man. Right. We all naturally know that we're the people of the Most High, directly or indirectly. Whether you believe in the scriptures or not, we all know that us as a people, we have a divine connection with the Most High. That's why the Lord blesses us above all nations. We're more talented, all right, we're wiser, we're stronger physically, mentally, we have more ability, our women look better. Yep. But our people always seem to deviate from that, man.
Yeah. I can say too, it's like, hey, that's why the Lord gave them heathens idols. He gave them idols. It ain't worth shit, man.
Yeah. If I can add to that, the brother Barzal made a point. You know, Jake has always been God-fearing. You know, if you look at most of these churches, it's mostly Jake. You know, if you look at a lot of these churches, Jake has always had a zeal. Scripture says Jake has a zeal for the Most High, but not according to knowledge. So they all seek, and they have it in their spirit to acknowledge the Most High, but they just don't know shit.
That's right.
You know, they don't know who they are. They don't know where they're from.
That's right.
I got
a precept to land back on for brothers in Romans 2:12 about this.
Romans chapter 2, verse 12. For as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law. And as many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. For not the hearers of the law are just for the Most High, but the doers of the law shall be justified. For when the Gentiles which have not the law do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves.
Which is what is that called right there? Inclination.
That's right.
All you jakes have an inclination of how about you outside in the spirit.
That's why they go so hard in all these religions and stuff, man.
Right.
Whether you want to call yourself a Muslim or Hindu, whatever you in, that's why you go so hard in it, because you're really seeking out about Shimmy Al-Shad.
Get your precept. Beautiful point. This is Jeremiah. This is going into we just read about was it Malachi 1 and 2? Yeah. So why? Yeah. Malachi 1 and 2. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 15. It says, "Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee." Jeremiah 30 and 15. "Why criest thou for thine affliction?" Why are you crying? Why are you crying? It says, and hey, the Lord told you what was going to happen. You know, when he told you, Deuteronomy 28. He said, if you stray from these laws, statutes, and commandments I give, I'm going to hit your ass with all these curses.
And what's funny about it, our people said amen.
and they that's right, they did. Let it be so. They made
There was a covenant we made with the Heavenly Father. They broke it. So now we have to suffer the consequences.
And then you want to cry out, why? Why? Exactly. See, we were talking about earlier the policy of the so-called white man. Well, that's the policy of the Lord to Israel. Right. Well, he just made this policy, which policy goes into the word prudence, which prudence is a synonym to the word wisdom or wise. Okay, like a prudent man or a wise man. So you're talking about the most prudent, wisest individual of all, Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, made this covenant with you, our policy. And y'all saying, okay. And now you're saying, once y'all break it, okay, and you have to suffer the repercussions, now y'all crying. So he's saying, why are you crying? So it says, "Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased, because you decided to do whatever you wanted to do. Sin, the transgression of the law, of the policy that I had written for you, and that you signed the agreement." Okay, go ahead. It says, "I have done these things unto you, unto thee." I have done, that's why I have done these things. Because you broke them. I gave you the first 15 verses in Deuteronomy 28, and one of those verses say the blessings will overtake you. All you gotta do is just listen.
Just listen.
Just listen. And the blessings will overtake you. Shema. Shema Yasha'Allah. Okay? You know? All you have to do is listen. Okay? And then instead of not listening, you got the point from, what's that? Verse 16 all the way down to 68.
Yeah.
There's a reason why there's more curses than blessings.
Yeah.
Thus said the Lord, which giveth the sun for his light by day, the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for his light by night, divided the sea when waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. Of those ordinances, they probably said then the sea also is a nation from the will never be departed from the Lord, which is going to this punishment right now, which is discussion from this so-called white man, but he's going down along with us too.
That's right.
Well, the 2/3, because 1/3 of 124,000 going to rise and this guy.
Yeah, and this divine ass whooping is set up so that the righteous men of the Lord will cry and pray to the Lord and convert, man. Yeah. But the whole nation is not going to turn, man. Our people have a sadistic mind. A lot of our people like these ass whoopings, man. They like, look what the scriptures speak about how oppression. It says, what does it say about oppression? I can't think about it. I can't bring it up. Not oppression making a wise man. Our people trust in oppression.
Oh, yeah, Isaiah 30.
Yeah, our people trust in slavery, man. So even though they're in Babylon, they're being whooped. You know, they basically mentally at this point they're at the lowest end on the job. They are on minimum wage. As long as they got them a car and they got them a house, they straight, man. It don't matter that the so-called white man's polluting your food, polluting your water, ridiculing you as a nation, basically calling you a nigga. All right, and in so many words.
That's what you call perpetual desolation.
Yeah, I got a precept.
Yeah, I still had this on. This is Micah 6, and I'll start at 1.
Hear ye now what the Lord said. Arise, contend thou before the mountains, and let the hills hear thy voice. Hear ye, O mountains, the Lord's controversy, and ye strong foundations of the earth.
Hey, that goes into these governments, man.
Yep.
That's what we're doing. Literally what he's reading is what we're doing right now. Go ahead.
For the Lord hath the controversy with his people, and he will plead with Israel.
Yeah, that's right. We got the Lord, man. These Israelites, man, y'all made the Lord so mad that he got beef with you. So if you don't turn back to the Lord, you're some beef. Yeah, some beef duty.
2/3 not gonna turn back. That's why they gotta be destroyed.
That's why they fulfill the lots of being a scoffer, a 2/3. You know, like it says in Ezekiel 30. Not Ezekiel 30. That's Zechariah 13. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, it says, O my people, what have I done unto thee? And wherein have I wearied thee? Testify against me. For I have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed thee out of the house of servants. And I set before thee Moses, Aaron, and Miriam.
I gave you the tools. He gave
Leaders.
He gave you leaders. He gave you the tools to succeed.
Yeah, but what did a nigga do? Niggas was so off, they made the leaders not even make it to the promised land. That was the reason why they didn't make it, because they was, well, Miriam, of course, she went off, you know, coming against Moses for having an Ethiopian woman. Yeah. All right, but Aaron, when Moses was receiving the 613 on Mount Sinai, niggas was baiting Aaron to build a golden calf, man. It's like, man, Moses like, I'm gonna be back, man. I'm going to the Lord. I'm finna get something good for the nation, the tablets of stone. And what niggas doing? Parading and bullshit, man. Trying to get a calf of gold, man. Trusting in Egypt. And the same thing with Moses. When Moses was basically receiving the blessings of the Lord, so to speak, what did they do? They made Moses strike the rock. Some people always had that mindset of turning the leaders against each other, so to speak, making them disobey and fall short so that they could basically parade and basically be in liberation, man. That's what our people ultimately want, is liberation. They don't want no leaders. They don't want to follow the righteous path. Look at niggas today, these world star hip hop niggas. They just want to club. They want to fight in the streets. They want to get drunk. They want to bullshit. They want to pimp their women out. That's our people, man. So I'm gonna continue on.
It says, and redeemed thee out of the house of servants, and I sent before thee Moses, Aaron, and Miriam,
O my people, remember now what Balak king of Moab consulted, and what Balaam the son of Beor answered him from Shittim unto Gilgal, that ye may know the righteousness of the Lord. Wherewith shall I come before the Lord and bow myself before the high power? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with cows of a year old? Will the Lord be pleased with thousands of rams, thousands of rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? Thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord thee? But do justly, and to love, and to walk humble. And that's really all the Lord wants. He just wants you to do that which is right. All right, just do that which is good. Follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and everything will be at peace at that time, man. The scriptures, everything was already set up for man to live. That's why man, what, got planted on earth in the 5th day. The days prior, you had the sun and the moon already being set up for man to have so-called sunlight and have proper living conditions. All right, you had the plants. All right, you had wildlife. You had all these different things set up and structured for us to be planted and basically live in Eden. What did man do? They listen to serpents, the woman, philosophies, and now look at the world today. Running around, man. You got all these also following the left hand side.
Man, like I say, too, just a little more. His brothers, they love to be with the they love the man. They work every morning. They so much they can't. They're confused. It's like the street is fire.
But now, to my
Beloved, man. That was done. That's King David, man. That's speaking about Israel. Go ahead.
A song of my well-beloved.
Hey, we singing a new song right now. Go ahead.
Touching his vineyard. My well-beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill. And he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof and planted it with the choicest vine.
So he making a garden nice and tight. All right, getting the stones out, probably putting the fence around it, make sure it's guarded.
And built a tower in the midst thereof.
What's that tower represent? Symbolic of? What's that? The name of the Lord is the strong tower. The one who run into it safe. Is that in Proverbs? So he put pretty much spiritually put himself in the middle of that. So go ahead.
And built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a wine press therein. And he looked, and
what's that wine press? The correct doctrine, the correct philosophy. That's the wine press. So we got the strong tower, the fence is guarded, we're well beloved. Okay, you see this work that Yahweh was putting in for us. Go ahead.
And that it should bring forth grapes. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes.
Why? Because he looked, he's like, yeah, man, I done done all this. It's about to bring some good grapes in. But go ahead.
And it brought forth wild grapes.
It brought in niggas, man.
Right.
Like, go ahead.
And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and the men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard.
Keep going.
What could ye have done? What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it?
What more could I have done for y'all that I haven't done already? The brother Barzal beautifully brought out, he done gave you Moses, he gave you Aaron, great leaders. He brought out that he gave you the law. You know what I'm saying? He brought out all these things, you know? So what more else could I have done that I haven't done already for y'all to prosper? What more? You know? Hey, just sit on that. You can drop that. Bring your precept up, brother.
This is
John chapter 17, verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for them, for they are thine.
That's right, for they are thine. I pray for not for them that are in the world. With us. You know, we're in the world, but we're not of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, but he's not praying for these niggas that are indulged in the world, man. Because what did he say at the end of that? For they are thine. He's speaking about who's thine? The elect, man. That's in Hawashi's gift. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
It says, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine.
All thine are mine, and thine are mine. Go ahead.
And I am glorified in them.
What's that? Glorified?
Glorified.
And I am glorified in them. That's right. Because what does the scripture say? I think it's in Corinthians. The glory of the man is the woman. Okay? Didn't the scripture say that he likened us unto women?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The house of Israel is women. So what? We read that last verse you just said. Because we're ambassadors of Yahweh. So we have to show, we have to be Satan, man. We have to be a good representation, man. You know, we can't be out here being knowing it's truth and being thugnificent. You know what I'm saying? We can't be like that. We read that last part, bro.
It says, John chapter 17, verse 10. And all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them.
That's right. He's glorified in us, man. You're willing, we're part of that number 144. You know what I'm saying? That's who he's saying he's glorified. Like I said earlier, the woman is the glory of the man. When you go to a man's house and say he doesn't have and she's acting all crazy, you ain't gonna look at the woman like that. You're gonna look at the woman and be like, why is she acting like that? And turn to the man. What are you doing? So it's the same thing with us. If we're out here, we're doing this truth, and we're acting a fool, we're never gonna be like, so this is your power, man. No, bro. We gotta be the just men that he told us to be in the scriptures. Get Titus chapter 2 and start at 1. Because this is how we're supposed to be. Okay? We're supposed to be some just Joe Schmo niggas like how these niggas are on the streets, man. Nah, man. That's not how you represent Yahweh Shem Shai. Go ahead, bro.
This is John chapter 15, verse 16. Ye have not chosen me, but I chosen you and ordained you that ye shall go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit shall remain.
That's
that whomsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you.
That's right. Don't the scriptures say bring in fruit meet for repentance? That's right. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't. Don't the scriptures say it? I think it's get Matthew 7 and start at 1. Get Titus real quick, because this is an example of how you're supposed to be in this truth. Go ahead.
It's Titus chapter 2, verse 1. It says, but speak thou things which become sound doctrine.
That's right.
That the aged men be sober, grave, temperate.
Hey, technically, it says the aged men, okay? You know, seasoned in this thing. That's, you know, apostles and elders of great millstones, okay? Who Yahweh Shem Shai relinquished the correct doctrine.
That's right.
Unto, and that's who we learn from.
That's right.
Okay? That's like an aged man. But also what? Even the youngest brother in the camp is more aged than a nigga out in the streets.
That's right.
Okay? Go ahead, so what you gonna say?
I was going to say verse 6.
Verse 1 and 2.
It says, but speak thou the things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober.
Sirach 32, Sirach 8 and